Today is Friday, Erev Shabbat Behar Bechukotai. It's the 38th day of the Omer, which is 5 weeks and 3 days. And today, it's under the heading of Tiferet shebayessod. So Tiferet is compassion, is glory, is a harmony, is bringing things together like chesed and gvura merging together. That's what Yaakov did, and that's bringing different aspects together. Yesod, which is the foundation, has also a certain quality of connecting things together. It's, after all, it's the foundation that brings everything together. You see a big building, the foundation may not be seen, but it is what bonds and connects everything together. That foundation is what holds the building together. And that foundation is what may not be seen on the outside, but is something that has a lot of importance. So the idea of bonding and connecting and foundation is the theme of the whole 6th week of the Omer. But today we focus on the Tiferet within that aspect. And Tiferet is again compassion, glory, and merging of different qualities coming together. The quality of chesed, kindness, and strength coming together is what Yaakov did. That's one example. And to feel compassionate for another person is also a quality of Tiferet. So that's the idea for today that we think about as we go through each day of the Omer and focus on a certain quality that we are to have in mind. This Shabbat we're reading 2 parashiyot, Behar and Bechukotai. Bechukotai begins with the pasuk in Bechukotai telechu. If you follow my statutes, my commandments, in other words, vet mitzvotai tishmeru, and you'll keep my commandments, you'll observe them, va'asitem otam, and you'll perform them. On the surface of it, it seems quite redundant. It speaks about observing mitzvot, statutes, about va'asitem otam, and you'll perform them. Why does it need to be repetitious? Rashi explains, in Bechukotai telechu, it speaks about the learning of Torah, to invest effort in learning Torah. Because if you invest effort in learning Torah, then you'll be able to have the knowledge of what are the mitzvot, and then you'll be able to perform the mitzvot. So there is no substitute for dedicating time to learning Torah. Because as you learn Torah, you're able to fulfill the mitzvot. And if you do not learn, and if you do not invest the effort in learning, then obviously you will not know, you will not have the knowledge to carry out to do the mitzvot. So the parasha begins by telling us that if you learn Torah and you apply yourself and you do it in order to perform the mitzvot, then there's a whole group of blessings that is being listed here, that Hashem will give you rain in its proper time, and that there will be peace in the land, and they will be able to win in any battle. There's many blessings here that are given. However, the parasha goes on by saying, and if you do not follow the mitzvot, and again there also it insinuates through the text, if you do not learn Torah, and if you do not learn Torah, and then you will not be able to follow the mitzvot, and then you'll stray off the path, then in that case, what will happen is there are in this parasha a whole series of dire and grave consequences that could befall those who do not follow the word of Hashem, who do not dedicate time to learning so that they will not know the mitzvot. So those that stray off the path and do not go, and even like he uses the word that's very harsh, in Bechukotai timasu, if you despise my statutes, vet mishpatai tigal nafshechem, and if you reject my commandments, in that case, the Torah then gives us a whole series of rebuke and very harsh punishments that could happen. But within those harsh punishments, there is one of the verses that says that Hashem will make the land desolate. And as he makes the land desolate, Rashi explained that actually that's the silver lining in the cloud. And there is a blessing in disguise in a way, even though, of course, the land of Israel being desolate, meaning that the Jews will be in exile and the place will be empty. But Rashi explains, Zo midat tova Israel. That's a good thing. Shelo yimtzeu ha'oivim nachat ruach be'artzam. So that the enemies, the goyim, will not, and the enemies will not be able to find any interest in a desolate place. Shtei shomyam yoshvea, that will be like desolate. And truly, we've seen that in history. When the Jewish people were sent into exile, for centuries and centuries, the land of Israel was desolate. Even Mark Twain, when he visited Israel, his report of what he saw is a description of a very desolate, empty place with thorns and bushes rather than lush gardens or lush fields. But we see when the Jewish people came back to the land of Israel in recent years, in the recent decades, and how the land flourishes as the holy people came back to the Holy Land. And this parasha of Bechukotai sort of tells it as it is. You go in the way of what Hashem wants you to follow, you learn Torah, you follow the mitzvot, you'll have blessings. And if not, then there are consequences. May we have the merit, Ezat Hashem, to always serve Hashem besimcha, with joy, to follow His commandments, and to do what Hashem wants us to do. And we can get accomplished through learning Torah and more learning Torah, with the idea of practicing what we learn, of performing the mitzvot as we gain more and more knowledge. Baruch Adonai le'olam, amen ve'amen, and Shabbat Shalom.